Shalom. This is 15 Minutes with a Captain. I am Captain Zakar to my right.
Officer Uriel.
All right, and today we are going to go into the religion of God. Yes, God does have a religion, and it's not man-made. All right, let's start out with 2nd Ezra chapter 2, verse 3. So let's get and show what it's always been, and because we know, even as devout Christians, we know God don't change, right? So let's go to the beginning. Read that.
2nd Ezra chapter 2 and verse 3.
2nd Ezra chapter 3, verse 4.
2nd Ezra chapter 3 and verse 4.
Yeah.
O Lord, who bearest rule, thou speakest at the beginning, when thou didst plant the earth, and that thyself alone, and commandest the people.
So God from the beginning commandest the people. Read on.
And gavest a body unto Adam without soul, which was the workmanship of thine hands, and didst breathe into him the breath of life, and he was made living before thee. And thou leddest him into paradise, which thy right hand had planted, before ever the earth came forward.
That's talking about Jerusalem. Go ahead.
And unto him thou gavest commandment to love thy way.
Hold on. In the beginning, God gave to Adam a commandment to love thy way. Read on.
Which he transgressed.
Which he did what?
Which he transgressed.
Which he transgressed. Whenever you transgress something when it comes to God, that means you are breaking his laws. Right. I don't even have to go to the precept because it's going to explain it right here. Read on.
And immediately thou appointedst death in him.
So, and we all know that the wages of sin is what?
Death.
Is death.
Right.
And the breaking of God's laws is sin.
Right.
Read on.
And in his generations, of whom came nations, tribes, people, and kindreds, out of number.
Here's the point. Verse 8.
Verse 8. And every people walked after their own will, and did wonderful things before thee.
And did what?
Before thee, and despised thy commandments.
And did what?
Despised thy commandments.
Ezra is letting you know from the beginning, God gave Adam commandments to teach all people, but everybody did their own thing, just like they doing today.
Right.
They made up their own gods. They made up their own way of life. They made up their own religions. Right. But God from the beginning, his religion, his way of life is the commandments. Let's get that in Psalms 119 and 160 to prove that. Psalms 119, 160. Go ahead, read it when you get it.
Psalms 119, verse 160. Thy word is true from the beginning.
From when?
From the beginning.
Thy word is true from the beginning, when you made Adam. Read.
And every one of thy righteous judgments endureth forever.
They do what?
Endureth forever.
They endure forever. His word is true from the beginning. And what did he give Adam in the beginning? Commandments. Give me that in Psalms 111, verse 7 and 8. Let's prove that. Psalms 111, verse 7 and 8. Let's prove that it was commandments, like we already did. But we're going to beat you over the head with it to the stick.
Right.
Read that.
Psalms 111, verse 7. The works of his hands are verity and judgment. All his commandments are sure.
All his commandments are sure. That means they are good, right? Go ahead.
They stand fast forever and ever.
How long do his commandments stand fast for?
Forever and ever.
Forever, ever? Forever.
Ever.
Just like Andre 3000 said. God's commandments stand sure. They stand fast forever and ever. Read on.
And are done in truth and uprightness.
In truth and uprightness. That means you can't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Right. You can't have a little bit of the truth and a little bit of the lie.
Right.
You can't be in Christianity and say that I love God.
Well, saying he know my heart ain't enough.
He know my heart ain't enough. No, it got to be done in truth and uprightness.
Right.
You can't go to church all your life and still be the devil, is what God's saying.
Right.
Just like your grandma's been doing. Your grandpa's mean as all outdoors, been going to church for 50 years. Hate everybody in the family if you're doing wrong, bear grudges.
Right.
Can't do that. Go to Genesis 26. Let's prove that. Let's prove that. Now, he gave it to Adam, right? We know the flood happened, right?
Right.
So what happened after the flood? Genesis 26 and 5.
Genesis chapter 26 and verse 5. Because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge.
And what was that?
My commandments.
He kept what?
My commandments.
And what else?
My statutes and my laws.
Abraham from the beginning in the book of Genesis, which means beginning, was keeping God's charge, which means his commandments, his statutes, and his laws.
Right.
Where did he get that from? He got it all the way back from Adam, and Adam passed it down all the way to Noah, and Noah gave it to his sons, and Noah's sons gave it to him, gave it to Abraham. The laws, statutes, and commandments of God. Let's go to Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. We're going to go back a few chapters, right? Read that.
Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. And he said unto Abraham, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs.
That's the Israelites. Go ahead.
And they and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years.
So Abraham's seed is the Israelites, and we were slaves for 400 years in Egypt. 400 years. That's a long time to be in bondage to somebody else, right? Let's go to Nehemiah chapter 9. Let's see what the first thing God did when he brought us out of slavery. Did he give us a religion that the Egyptians was doing, the Assyrians was doing, the Ethiopians? Did he tell us follow their ways? Let's see what God reestablished once again. Read that.
Nehemiah chapter 9 and verse 13. Thou camest down also upon Mount Sinai, and spakest with them from heaven, and gavest them the right judgments.
They gave them right judgments,
and true laws.
Hold on, God gave us what?
True laws.
As soon as we came out of Egypt, out of bondage, out of slavery, he gave us his true laws once again, because God's religion is his laws.
That's right.
He gave us true laws. Read on.
Good statutes and commandments.
And commandments. Read on.
And madest known unto them thy holy Sabbath.
Now this is what is some few things that are wrapped up in his commandments and his laws. His holy, holy, holy Sabbath. Read on.
And commandest them precepts, statutes, and laws by the hand of Moses.
So as soon as we came out of slavery, the first thing God did again was reestablish his laws on the earth with his people once again. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 4, and let's prove that again. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 44.
Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 44. And this is the law which Moses set before the children of Israel.
You keep seeing how it says law. God gave Moses laws to give to the children of Israel, which you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are. He did not give them religion. He did not tell them, give them the book, and then let them pick what they want, and then I'm going to work around what they want to do. That ain't how God get down. He don't change. And we're going to prove that later on in this class right here. So it's the law that he gave to Moses to give to the children of Israel. Read on.
These are the testimonies and the statutes and the judgments which Moses spake unto the children of Israel after they came forth out of Egypt.
After they came forth out of Egypt, reestablishing his law. Let's go to Sirach, which is called Ecclesiasticus, chapter 17 and verse 11. We're going to show you what those laws are. Read that.
Sirach, chapter 17, verse 11. Beside this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for inheritance.
The laws that God gave us is a way of life. That's what religion is. Religion is a way of life, a set of beliefs. And what we are supposed to believe in is the laws of God, not the traditions of man. Read that again for him.
Verse 11. Besides this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for inheritance.
The law of life for an heritage to be passed down to our kids, to our kids' kids, to our kids' kids' kids. It's supposed to be passed down forever. And you may not have knew that before because you was in oppression and you was forced to be religious according to what man says, but now you got an opportunity to watch this video and learn the religion of God, which is his laws from the beginning. Let's go to 17 and 18. Jump down to verse 18.
Verse 18. Whom being his firstborn, he nourisheth with discipline.
That's what the laws of God do, and that's why many people choose man-made religion instead of God's religion.
Right.
Because God's religion, God's way of life for his people requires discipline.
Right.
Thou shalt not is a form of discipline.
Right.
You will not do that if you are disciplined in your body, in your mind, and in your spirit.
Exactly.
Read that again.
Whom being his firstborn,
Which are the children of Israel,
he nourisheth with discipline.
he grew up, he fed us with discipline. Read on.
And giving him the light of his love, doth not forsake him.
Jump over to 18 verse 14.
Sirach 18 verse 14.
Uh-huh.
He hath mercy on them that receiveth discipline.
He has mercy on them that keep his laws. Because if you can discipline your body to turn from the ways of man, God said, I'll have mercy on you.
Right.
Because the whole world lies in wickedness. But you disciplined enough to keep my laws, the religion that I gave your forefathers from the beginning, I'll have mercy on you.
Right.
Read it again.
Verse 14. He hath mercy on them that receiveth discipline.
Uh-huh.
And that diligently seek after his judgments.
That diligently seek after his judgments, which is his laws.
Right.
Let's go to Galatians chapter 1. Let's prove it. Let's prove it even more. Galatians chapter 1, and we're going to start at verse 13.
Galatians chapter 1 and verse 13.
Uh-huh.
For ye have heard of my conversation in time past in the Jews' religion.
In the what?
The Jews' religion.
We just gave you the precepts of what the Jews, the Israelites' religion was since the beginning.
Right.
It has always been the laws, statutes, and commandments of God. And you might say to yourself, I'm not a Jew.
Right.
I am a Baptist.
Right.
That ain't your nationality. Being a Jew is your nationality,
Right.
and your religion, your way of life is the laws from God.
Right.
You are a Jew, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, because he ain't never called you no African American, no Haitian, no Jamaican, no Puerto Rican, no El Salvadorian, no Venezuelan.
Right.
If I said it right, Mexican.
Yeah, you got it.
He's never called you that. You've been called that in your lower state by your oppressors. You are Jew, and your religion is the law of God.
That's right.
So read that again.
Verse 13. For ye have heard of my conversation in time past in the Jews' religion, how that beyond measure I persecuted the church of God and wasted it.
Read on.
And profited in the Jews' religion
In the laws. Go ahead.
above many my equals in mine own nation, being more exceedingly zealous of the tradition of my fathers.
The tradition of my fathers. And what was Paul? He was an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin.
Right.
So that's further reaffirming that the tradition of the Israelites is the laws of God. And if you want to put a label on it, that's their religion.
Right.
And it came directly from God on Mount Sinai.
That's right.
And even before that, it came to Adam and was passed down. Right? So let's go to 1 Maccabees chapter 2. Prove it even more. 1 Maccabees chapter 2, we're going to read 19 through 22.
1 Maccabees chapter 2 verse 19.
Uh-huh.
Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice, though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him, and fall away every one of their religion of their fathers.
They fall away everyone from the religion of their fathers, the other nations, the religion, the way of life from their fathers. Read.
And give consent to his commandments.
Uh-huh.
Yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers.
What is that? Read the next verse.
God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances.
God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances because of what? Next verse.
We will not hearken to the king's words. To go from our religion.
To go from what?
Our religion.
Go from our religion, which in verse 21 is the laws and the ordinances that
Right.
God gave us. We will not hearken to the king's words to go from our way of life. Read on.
Either on the right hand or the left.
We ain't going to be lukewarm. We ain't going to pick out stuff that feels good to us, that appeases us.
Right.
We're not going to do that, right? So let's go to what we got, Ephesians chapter 4 now. The religion of God and the religion of the Israelites is the laws, statutes, and commandments which are true forever and ever. Let's read that, Ephesians 4.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 14.
Verse 4.
Verse 4.
Uh-huh.
There is one body.
Hold on, it's what?
There is one body.
There's one body.
And one spirit.
Uh-huh.
Even as ye are called in one hope of your calling.
Read on.
One Lord.
One Lord.
One faith.
One faith.
One baptism.
There is one Lord, one faith, one thing to believe in, one baptism. Read on.
One God and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all.
And what's that one faith and that one way that we've always had as Israelites from the beginning? It's the laws of God.
Right.
Give me last script here, Proverbs 21:16. Proverbs 21:16. So what happens when we go from the religion of God and follow the traditions of man and make up our own way, or just try to make up terms like, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual.
Right.
You try to make up stuff like that. That's you doing your own thing. What happens to a person like that? Read that.
Proverbs 21, verse 16.
Uh-huh.
The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding.
The way of understanding of how to live life is to keep the commandments. Because we read in Sirach 17 and 11, God gave them knowledge and the law of life for an heritage. So the way to understand how to live life is by keeping God's laws. So the man or the woman that wanders out of the way of that, what does God say?
Shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
You're going to stay in man-made religion, and the laws of God, the Bible, will never make sense to you.
Right.
Until you dead and meet your maker. So with that, we say shalom. It's been 15 minutes with a captain. I'm Captain Zakar. To my right,
Officer Uriel.
Most High Christ bless.
Now they will see the true men of God. We are not black men, we are the Israelites. That's right. Take care of us. Take care of us. And our children too. And our children too. We have repented. We have repented. How about you? How about you? People want to know who's the king.
O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father. O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father.
Now why they trying to make it so hard to serve God? And why when I say that I'm a Jew it sound odd? For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sounds wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcast, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.